2 months ago, on the 30th of October, the world's tallest church was declared to be the minor basilica of the Holy Family, or Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, under construction since 1882, and still unfinished, whose central tower now rises to 534 feet. And today the Church offers us the Holy Family of Nazareth as the model Christian family. Not necessarily what we are at the moment, but what we could be, and what we should want to be. Something to aim at and strive for. All three members of the Holy Family have their own particular feast days during the Church's liturgical year. But today's feast celebrates, if you like, a synthesis of their human qualities, their joys and sorrows, their sacrifices, their unity and cohesion, and the values that bind them together. But in many ways, the Holy Family of Jesus, Mary and Joseph is anything but a normal, conventional family. The mother is a virgin. The husband is not the father of the child. And the child is God, the incarnate Word. But what we are meant to learn from the Holy Family of Nazareth is the way in which they live together and love together, the way they respect one another and care for one another. All the things we are encouraged to do in today's readings from the book of Surrey and St. Paul. These readings never change. They are the same each year for this feast. What does change, however, is the Gospel. This year's Gospel describes the Holy Family fleeing into Egypt to protect Jesus from danger. The Gospels for the other 2 years in the cycle are of the presentation of the baby Jesus in the temple and the occasion on which the boy Jesus is found to be missing on the home journey after attending the feast of the Passover in the temple in Jerusalem. But whichever Gospel we read, the picture and the message are the same. A united family committed to a right relationship with God and those around them. A united family, but also a suffering family, because love in human relationships makes us vulnerable through our self-giving. Each member of the Holy Family knew the pain and anguish that the bonds of love can bring, because human love requires us to make a huge investment in others, free and unconditional. Joseph silently, unquestioningly and obediently fled with his family to Egypt to avoid danger and death. Mary endured the whole mystery of the Annunciation, the Incarnation, and the passion, death, and resurrection of her Son in quiet contemplation. And Jesus died because of love, out of obedience to his Father's will, for the entire world family, the human race. And family also means community in a broader sense. The local community, our neighbours, work colleagues, the parish community, our family of faith, the church. Our involvement in all of these requires the same gifts, virtues, humility, and sacrifices displayed by the Holy Family. That's how we can make the Holy Family relevant and real and meaningful in our lives. Family, in the Christian sense, the Catholic universal sense, doesn't just refer to blood ties, relatives, and the like. It's about seeing the fuller picture of loving our neighbour as ourselves for the sake of the church in the context of the church. What we can learn from Jesus, Mary and Joseph is the inner strength that their cohesion as a family provides, even when external factors seem to be foreign and daunting, and when the future is unknown. Today's feast should also awaken our hopes to God's promise that he will free his people and bring them eventually, perhaps after a journey of trials and endurance, into the eternal family, the promised land of his kingdom. As we prayed in the opening prayer, let us continue to pray. Lord, graciously grant that we may imitate Jesus, Mary and Joseph in practicing the virtues of family life and in the bonds of charity, and so, in the joy of your house, delight one day in eternal